Hello humans! Today we will expand on the topic of verb conjugation. As with many other topics, the rules for conjugation are best learned step by step, starting from the easy verbs. In later episodes, we'll learn more advanced ways of conjugating verbs. Remember that the English translation for the examples in this video can be found by turning on subtitles. Spoken language forms and conjugation exercises are also provided in this video, so be sure to watch all the way through. If you find this video helpful, please remember to like it, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. It's very quick and is great help for me to reach more learners. Let's go! Let's start with an example dialogue in Finnish, where Ada and Karoliina talk about where they are from and what language they speak. Terve. Terve. Kuka sinä olet? Minä olen Ada. Hauska tutustua. Minä olen Karoliina. Minkä maalainen sinä olet? Minä olen portugalilainen. Ai jaa, minä olen belgialainen. Mitä kieltä sinä puhut? Minun äidinkieli on portugali, mutta minä puhun myös espanjaa. Mitä kieltä sinä puhut? Minä puhun ranskaa. Missä sinä asut? Minä asun Hangossa. Entä sinä? Minä en asu Hangossa, vaan Joensuussa. Okei, hauska tutustua. Kiitos samoin. We already learned in an earlier video that verbs receive different suffixes depending on the personal pronoun. So, minä puhun means I speak and sinä puhut means you speak. Take note that in the sentence minä asun Hangossa, you can see the consonant gradation that we discussed in the earlier video. We'll leave it to the level of observation this time though. Let's take a closer look at the system of conjugating verbs next. Conjugating the verbs found in our example dialogue is simple. First, we take the infinitive form of the verb, which in this case is puhua. The letter A in the end signals that it's the infinitive form of the word. We remove this A suffix and are left with the stem of the word puhu. From here, we can start adding the suffixes for personal conjugation. Minä puhun, sinä puhut, hän puhuu, me puhumme, te puhutte, he puhuvat. The same process is repeated with the verb asua. We remove the suffix for the infinitive and then add the personal suffixes to the stem. Minä asun, sinä asut, hän asuu. Me asumme, te asutte, he asuvat. Note that the personal suffixes for the verbs are always the same with all verbs in Finnish language, except the third person, hän. With this person, you look at the last vowel in the stem, which in this case happens to be you with both of these verbs. Then this vowel is doubled to make it into the suffix for the third person. Later, we'll learn more verbs that use different vowels. One of the fundamental concepts of Finnish language is vowel harmony. Vowel harmony is the phenomenon in Finnish where a suffix added to a word either uses the vowel a or ä, depending on the vowels found in the stem. This is seen in verbs like kysyä, itkeä. The vowel harmony can already be seen in the infinitive form of the verb, as the suffix is ä instead of a, which was used in the verbs on the previous page. When verbs are conjugated, the suffix for the third person plural, he, can also change from vat to vat. The logic behind this all is that if the stem of the verb does not contain the vowels a, o, or u, the suffix for the infinitive and the third person plural he are a and vat. This can be seen in the verbs puhua and asua from the previous page. However, if the stem contains the vowels ä, ö, or y, then the suffixes are ä and vat. This also means that if the stem only contains the vowels i and e, the suffixes for the verbs will again be ä and vat. This can be seen in the verb itkeä. In my experience, it's worth emphasizing that the letter a and ä are not freely interchangeable in Finnish language, although many students seem to be bold enough to try and challenge this principle. It's surprisingly common to use ä in place of a, and vice versa, although this results in incorrect forms. This being said, do not be afraid of small mistakes when learning to use the language. Small errors in vowel harmony rarely result in major difficulties in understanding. Instead, native speakers can still understand you quite well with the help of logical deduction from the general context. Do your best at choosing the correct vowel, and then let the small mistakes correct themselves over time. Let's take another look at our example dialogue from the beginning, but this time in spoken form. Terve! Terve! Kuka sä oot? Mä oon Aada. Hauska tutustua. Mä oon Karoliina. Minkä maalainen sä oot? Mä oon portugalilainen. Ai jaa, mä oon belgialainen. Mitä kieltä sä puhut? Mun äidinkieli on portugali, mutta mä puhun myös espanjaa. Mitä kieltä sä puhut? Mä puhun ranskaa. Missä sä asut? Mä asun Kuopiossa. Entä sä? Mä en asu Kuopiossa, vaan Joensuussa. Okei, hauska tutustua. Kiitos samoin. When we are familiar with the conjugation system and the vocabulary, it's not too difficult to understand the conversation even in spoken form. It's worth going through the structural changes in the words though, so let's do that next. Spoken forms of verbs present a few notable changes to the written forms. Let's look at the verbs puhua and asua again. Firstly, the spoken language pronouns replace the written ones. Mä, sä, se, me, te, ne. These are the ones we already saw in the video about the olla verbi. The conjugation of minä, sinä, and te forms stays the same, but hän, me, and he . Encounter changes. Firstly, hän and he personas are conjugated the same way. Only the pronouns differentiate the forms from each other. So, hän puhuu in spoken language is se puhuu, and he puhuvat is ne puhuu. The me form is the most different, because instead of using the personal suffix for me, as in me puhumme, the verb is instead conjugated like a passive verb, namely me puhutaan and me asutaan. Let's do an exercise on conjugating verbs. Practice conjugating these verbs. Stop the video, conjugate the verbs in all personas, and then resume the video to check your answers. Ready? Stop the video now. Have you finished? Okay, let's check the correct answers. Remember to carefully check that you have written the correct amount of vowels in hän etsii and hän katsoo, and that you have also used the vowels a and ä correctly. Okay, very good. We're now ready to finish this class. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Did you learn something interesting or surprising? Please write your comments and questions below this video, and see you next time. Heippa!